Today I'm going to give an explanation for an motion comedy movie referred to as the Shaolin Boy. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. Lee is a 6-year historical monk analyzing in the Shaolin monastery. He has lived in the monastery and skilled in martial arts his complete life. At the establishing of the movie, Lee walks into the monastery and apologizes to his seniors for what he is about to do. He has to exhibit his competencies by struggle them. Without him realizing, a monk attacks him from the side. Lee immediately dodges even although the attack took him with the aid of surprise. The monk manages to throw Lee to the wall, but he bounces right back and continues to fight. He showers the monk with numerous kicks mid-air, displaying his skills. Moments later, the first monk is defeated when Lee restrains him with a woven bamboo basket. Following that, he is attacked via the second monk armed with swords. Lee manages to disarm his opponent, leaving him with no preference however to take delivery of defeat. Then he procedures the third and ultimate monk. Even when meditating, the monk senses Lee coming in the direction of him and makes use of a prayer bead. Perfectly hit the reflect in a way that blinds Lee. Then in much less than a second, the youngster is picked up and thrown to the ground. The monk is about to win with a closing blow, but Lee slides away and kicks him in the chest. The two combat and in the give-up Lee wins again. He bows to the shrine and walks backyard whilst his opponents bow to him. As a sign of respect, the head monk tells Lee that he scored 88 out of 100 in the test, which is better than most students his age. Lee is about to go to a new school in the town as an alternate student. During his stay there, he is supposed to live with a household of 3, fathered by using an extraordinary scientist who is close to the head monk. After wishing farewell, the kid leaves for the city, excited to meet new people. In the following scene we are delivered to 15-year-old Fang, the chief of the Taekwondo club. In his college he has a 4th grade sister, Shan Shan, who always cheers for her older brother and loves him dearly. The manager of the school Taekwondo club is Lan. She analyzes Fang's fits and offers him a précis of what he could have completed better. Lan additionally looks to have a crush on him, however denies it. When asked, Lan's brother Yu is a glutton who loves to consume more than something in the world. The 4 of them live in the same nearby and are surprisingly close to each other. One afternoon Lan is inspecting the previous day's Taekwondo match as always, whilst her brother Yu binges on chips and snacks. The sibling's father is a scientist named Dr. Han. Her mother died a few years in the past, after which Dr. Han has indulged himself in his work. He is working on a distinctive system that a group of gangsters is fascinated in. Dr. Han calls the children to ask them how they are doing. Lan is irritated due to the fact her father is in no way home with them. Dr. Han promises to return lower back as soon as viable and tells them to open a gift field that he is simply dispatched to the house. In reality, the field contains the one-of-a-kind device he has created that the gang is after as they are talking. Lee knocks on their door and is received by using Land. She gets busy welcoming him and would not note that her father is being abducted. On the different aspect of the video call, the chief of the gang, Larry, threatens Dr. Han to hand them the essential device. Dr. Han, on the other hand, claims that there is no such device. What he has been working on, he says, is an AI technology that will allow his kids to discuss to an AI with their mother's voice. I marvel if she'll be correct at narrating recap videos. The leader would not accept as true with him and holds him hostage. On checking the CCTV digicom footage, he finds out that the machine has been shipped to his home and acquired by his children. 2 of Larry's henchmen, Sloppy and Fest, volunteer to retrieve the device. No depend what, until they get a preserve of it, Dr. Han will be stored hostage. Sloppy and Fist are excited due to the fact this is their first job as gangsters. They costume up in eccentric garments as a conceal and arrive in the front of Lan's house. Sloppy tries to barge in when it receives dark, but Fist suggests they wait until the children leave for faculty the subsequent day. Meanwhile, Lee is getting accustomed to the new environment. He sees Lan watching a Taekwondo suit on TV and is involved with the aid of the sport. Later, he tries to do his each day dead night meditation while Yu performs a video game. Both of them disturb each other and find it tough to live together. But soon they play the video sport together and bond over it. Case closed. Video games are better than meditation. In her room, Lan opens that box dispatched with the aid of her father and sees a panda keychain inside. What she doesn't be aware of is that it also holds a pen drive that the gang is looking for. On pressing a button, The panda asks. Land to set a voice act. A set of voice-activated password. She exclaims, what password? Which is set as a new password besides her knowing. On trying out it further, she realizes that the panda is an AI that has her mother's voice. The next morning, Lee gets prepared for his first day of school alongside Yu and Lan. Sloppy and Fist watch them from interior their car, planning to break in proper. After they're out of sight. But simply then, Sloppy notices that Lan has hung the panda keychain on her bag. They alternate plans. And figure out to steal it from her. On the way to school, the group meets Feng and his sister Shanshan. Lan introduces them to Lee as they're talking. Sloppy rapidly snatches the key ring and walks away. Lee notices this and does a high sword numerous backflips. To get to him. Feng is impressed to see that he is a skilled fighter. They both beat him up and get the panda back, but Sloppy does not provide up. He snatches it but again, no longer learning his lesson from the first time. The youngsters quickly surround him and trap. In a rubbish bin before pushing him down the road at school, Lee is added to his classmates who are amazed to see an infant monk. For the first time. They ask him questions like if he can ever get married and if he is aware of Kung Fu. The instructor quiets them down and asks them to wait for the gym length to see his Kung Fu skills. During the gymnasium class, the educate informs them of a fitness take a look at that will be held subsequent month. The ones who do no longer bypass the check will have to repeat the category. Subsequent 12 months as well. Yu is concerned because he is out of shape and can barely walk properly. Their first task is to run 100 meters. A skilled Lee completes 2 laps before his classmates can entire even one. Next they are requested to do push-ups, one of the many specialties that Lee has. He does more than 100 whilst the different kids can infrequently do 2. To show his proper capabilities, he even does push-ups with a single hand and then with his body vertical. What a exhibit off. This child is essentially Goku. Everyone cheers and praises him. Then it is time for them to do excessive jumps. Elementary faculty excessive jumps are a piece of cake for Lee, however, Yu struggles and falls face down on the platform. Back in Dr. Hunt's lab, the gangster Larry has tied him to a chair and is hitting him with golf balls. To keep himself entertained, Dr. Hunt teaches him new methods at his own expense. At night, Sloppy and Fest break into the house looking for the panda. Lee sees them and hides behind a stuffed toy to scare them. He troubles the rookie gangsters, however they soon see him and strive to combat him. When Lan comes downstairs, the gangsters grab the panda and run away. Lee tells them what happened, however the siblings assume he is joking. In the following scene, Sloppy and Fest are at the lab with golf balls in their mouths. It turns out that they accidentally stole a panda humidifier rather of the distinct system they're putting goddamn pandas on the entirety these days. Larry has to promote the set gadget to his clients in 3 days. Which makes him impatient. He makes use of Fest and Sloppy as golf tees to threaten them to entire the challenge quicker. The following day after school, the group is a gazing fang battle in opposition to an opponent. Yu and Shen-chan are speaking about 2 unpleasant women in the lower back of the bleachers. It turns out that the stated women are Sloppy and Fist in disguise. They eye the panda on Lan's bag and wait for the proper time to retrieve it. Just then Lee challenges Fang to a fight and every person goes to the front to watch it. Behind them, the thugs try to take off the panda from the bag, however their wig receives stuck, making them struggle. As the extreme battle continues, we see that Fang and the Lee suit in skills. It ends when each members refuse to hit each other. Just then everybody turns around and sees Sloppy and Fist in their schoolgirl dresses. The kids attack the gangsters but the 2 manage to flee with the panda. After taking a female hostage, the college students go to the Essential and name the police, who promise to do their best to find them. Lee blames himself for what happened, because if he hadn't challenged Fang to a fight, Land would not have been distracted. The rest of the group makes him recognize that they do now not blame him. Larry sooner or later receives the panda and makes use of the pen drive of it to open an application on a computer. However, it requires a password to be accessed. Larry asks Dr. Han what the password is, but he refuses to inform them. A couple of programmers attempt to destroy the code, but even after attempting for an complete day, they are unsuccessful. By the quit of it, Larry begins to lose his thinking and has a mental breakdown. Then he sees Land's message on Dr. Han's telephone and decides to use her to blackmail him. Land has requested her father to come to her birthday tomorrow. Larry replies as Dr. Han and claims that he will be there on time the subsequent evening. Lin and her pals acquire at her house for the birthday party. Meanwhile, Fang, Yu, Li and Shanshan have long gone to the market to get her presents. Lan gets a message from her father saying that he is outside. However, on going out to check, she is kidnapped and put interior a van. At the identical time, Li and the team spot her and observe the van on their bicycles. They reach Dr. Hart's lab and start looking for her. Larry and his enterprise companion are beneath stress because they had been supposed to close the deal yesterday. To make the process quicker, Larry puts a knife to Lance's face and asks her about the password. She and Flip inquires what password and it opens the application on the PC outside. Sloppy and Fist are guarding the place. Li and Feng assault them and knock them out in no time. However, they are soon confronted by Larry's right-hand man, Bradley. He is a fighter, therefore they warfare to defeat him, even when teamed up internal the lab. Larry and his partner are about to seal the deal, however simply then Yu arrives and secretly frees his sister and father. Li additionally comes too. They're useful resource and helps them combat the gangsters. Amidst the chaos, Larry receives a keep of the suitcase with the pen pressure and runs outside. He is stopped by Dr. Han, Yu and Lan, who all beat him up. In the meantime, Li joins Fang once more to battle in opposition to Bradley. Initially they struggle, but they finally manage to defeat him. At last, the police arrive at the scene and store the day. In the ending scene, we see the school's principal award Li and Yu for their bravery. Subscribe for greater videos like this. Turn on notifications and go away a like to help the channel out. Thank you.